What's going on, guys? Gomes here back again on another MLB video. Of course, as you guys know, the Home Run Derby participants have been announced for a couple days now, and to be honest with you, the lineup is very stellar. Of course, this year's annual 2019 Home Run Derby will be happening Monday night in Cleveland, and then the All-Star Game following on Tuesday. As always, make sure to leave a like down below on these videos and subscribe to the channel if you guys are into baseball and would like me to keep doing these MLB IRL videos. I really enjoy doing them, so I'm glad that you guys support them as well. This 2019 MLB Home Run Derby features an array of young slugging superstars like we've never seen before in the Home Run Derby. It will all be headlined by the 2018 National League reigning MVP Christian Yelich, who is on pretty good pace to win back-to-back. Of course, him and Cody Bellinger are really duking it out right now in the National League for that MVP grabs, but this year he's hitting 325, 31 home runs, and over a 1,100 OPS, so it's fair to say he's having a very nice season. I actually think it is very bold that Christian Yelich is doing the Home Run Derby, and I'm actually quite surprised. Usually you don't see guys of that stature necessarily step up to be in the Derby, but props to you for doing it, Christian Yelich. Next, we have Vladimir Guerrero Jr., possibly one of the biggest prospects that we've seen in baseball in quite some time. Of course, the son to the Hall of Famer Vladimir Guerrero. While he has struggled a little bit so far this season, it is important to understand he is so young, so it is definitely difficult for him to be performing at the level of the expectations that were placed onto his shoulders immediately once he stepped foot in the MLB. But you cannot deny he is so exciting to watch. He's a big name that people recognize, and he's definitely going to draw in a crowd for the Home Run Derby. Pete Alonso, the Queens Bomber, setting rookie records for home runs in the National League. He has been so nice and really been that one saving grace along with him, Jeff McNeil, to kind of support any life that the Mets do have on their back right now. Pete Alonso, excellent hits for so much power. He's going to do great in the Home Run Derby. Young Ronald Acuna Jr., the 2018 National League Rookie of the Year, already showing why he is a superstar at the young age of 21. He's also starting in the All-Star Game, having a phenomenal season, building on top of what he accomplished last year, and another young slugger that we are going to have in this year's Derby. And it just keeps getting better. Next, we have Josh Bell, who had a historic month of May. He hit 390 with 12 home runs, 12 extra base hits, and an OPS of 1,238. Fun fact, he actually ranked 9th all-time in Major League history of the most total bases of any player within the month of May. Now, he has slumped a bit from those numbers that he had in May, but he's still hitting 308 with 27 home runs and an OPS of over 1,000, and for sure, still within that MVP candidate race. Alex Bregman of the Houston Astros was a later addition, of course, 2017 World Series champion. Ever since has really showcased why he's one of the best third basemen and one of the best players that we have in all of the MLB. He's hit 23 home runs this year and an OPS of 926. Jacques Peterson, a couple years back for the Los Angeles Dodgers, surged out of the gate and showed a lot of potential. The last couple years, however, he has struggled a bit, but it seems that he's found his swing once again this year. He has 20 home runs so far in this 2019 campaign. And to round it all up, we have Carlos Santana of the Cleveland Indians. Of course, they are the ones hosting the All-Star Game. It's been kind of an unwritten rule. I don't know if it's necessarily specific that this has to happen, but for as long as I can remember, the hosting team always has at least one representative from their team within the Home Run Derby. So the Indians hosting it, it's Carlos Santana this year, but that is not a bad thing. He's starting at first base in the All-Star Game for a reason. By far his best year that he's had so far in his career, hitting over 319 home runs and an OPS of 967. He definitely deserves to start at first base within the American League, and I think he's going to be pretty good within this Home Run Derby as well. Now, of course, just like the All-Star Game, there are a couple people who I thought got left out, specifically from the American League. I would have rather they replaced Alex Bregman with Joey Gallo. I'm pretty sure they did reach out to him, but he had an oblique injury earlier on in the year, and that's why he's only had about 200 at-bats, which he's homered 20 times in, so that really shows his power. And he is ranked in the top of the exit velo in the MLB 3 out of his last 4 seasons. He didn't want to have any strain on that oblique. He didn't want to risk any injury because the Rangers are contending this year and could make the playoffs, so that is understandable. And then in the National League, I think one of the two Padre bombers, either Franmil Reyes or Hunter Renfroe, both with 25 and 26 home runs apiece. I would have liked to see one of them instead of Jock Peterson, but I think overall this is still a great home run derby cast. Obviously, I'm sure we all would like to see Mike Trout, Cody Bellinger within the home run derby, but it's just not that realistic. Of course, you guys are probably aware of the historic and rumored home run derby curse. Within the home run derby, you take so many swings, and of course they're all uppercuts. It takes a lot of stamina drained from you, and a lot of times players have mentioned after the derby that their swings have been altered, that they kind of feel different, and they start to go on a slump within the second half of the season. Which goes to show once again why I'm very surprised that Christian Yelich, who looks like he could win a second straight MVP, and the Brewers of course contending within the NL Central, I'm surprised that he is willing to do the derby, but I'm so thankful for it because he's that really huge superstar that we need in the derby to draw in the viewers. This entire derby roster is filled with young players that have a lot of power and a lot of potential. Of course, Christian Yelich, like I said, is definitely at the top, but then you have huge prospects such as Vladimir Guerrero. Pete Alonso is a rookie. Ronald Acuna Jr. just in his sophomore year competing out in the home run derby. Now, this probably has something to do with the fact that the MLB has imposed a $1 million prize pool for the winner of the home run derby, which definitely increased interest within the players to compete within this season, and I think that's great. In the past, I don't think there was anything really pulling them to want to compete in the home run derby, especially with the fact that the derby curse that I mentioned earlier, they didn't see it really worth the risk, and that's why a lot of times we didn't get that many huge names within the derby. And you'll have guys like Trout, Harper making $30+ million a year, where $1 million they wipe their ass with. They're not really too concerned about that, so they're not willing to risk having their swings impacted from the derby. The derby contestants alone look like they're going to be one of the best rosters that we have seen in years, and it's going to be so fun to watch. But also the new format that they introduced a couple years back, where you're actually competing against another player instead of just having, you know, everybody try to hit as many home runs as possible. Now it's in a bracket style, it's timed. I think it's a lot more competitive, and I like it so much more than their past edition. I mean, it's pretty much the most competitive you can get instead of having two guys hit at the same time, which for obvious reasons just would not work out, especially because it can start rivalries. I know one in particular, we got Jock Peterson and Alex Bregman facing off in the bracket. Of course, they both faced off against each other in the 2017 World Series, so I think it's good for that as well. It can start player narratives, adds more media hype. I think it's just perfect, and I'm really happy that they did change it from the old style format that they used to have in the home run derby. It's just so much more competitive. It just brings a whole different energy. Now, I think this is going to draw in a quite high viewership. Notably, in 2017, the home run derby had over 8.6 million people watch. Of course, this is broadcasted on ESPN, so it is on a cable network. So 8.6 million is a pretty good draw for that. But last year in 2018, it was only 5.5 million. So over 3 million less people tuned in from 2017 opposed to 2018. Now, I think that does have something to do with the fact in 2017, we had Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton both in the home run derby. Two huge recognizable players within the MLB that of course just hit straight nukes. But if you look at this roster this year, guys like Christian Yelich, Vlad Jr., Ronald Acuna, Josh Bell, I think that is going to be a great draw. And the big thing for the home run derby, in my opinion, I always look on my Twitter, I always am looking at my feed, and I see a lot of people who don't normally watch or follow baseball actually do tune into the home run derby. And that's huge because at the end of the day, the All-Star Festivities is a showcase for the MLB. So I think the fact that the home run derby does get a new side of people that don't normally watch baseball necessarily, I think that's great. It's going to show them some of the youth, some of the great players, and it's going to draw them to want to watch and tune into more baseball games. So with all that being said, I think this is going to be a great home run derby. Now, if I did personally have to predict who I think is going to reach the finals and end up winning it, there is two sides of the bracket, of course. There's the left side and the right side. From the right, I'm going to pull Pete Alonso of the New York Mets. I think he's going to reach the finals. And from the left side, I think I'm going to take Christian Yelich, and it's going to be Yelich versus Pete Alonso. And I'm actually going to pick Pete Alonso to win it. I'm a big fan of his. I think he hits with so much power. When he connects with it, he sends it a ways. There's a reason why they call him Big Meat Pete. But let me know down below in the comment section who you guys think is going to win the 2019 MLB Home Run Derby. And let me know if you agree with me that this is going to be one of the best home run derbies that we have seen in quite some time. As always, make sure to leave a like down below on this video. I will be glad to start doing more MLB IRL videos if that's what you guys would like to see from me. Like I said, I sure enjoyed to do it, and I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it as well. But I hope you guys are great today. There goes some Saudi.
Love is love, and hate is hate. To die's an awesome adventure, and I can hardly wait. Earth is a prison, I need a great escape. You know I'm in my zone when I'm up in outer space. You know I'm in my zone when I'm up in outer space. You know I'm in my zone when I'm up in outer space. You know I'm in my zone. You know I'm in my zone. I took a bite of the glory.